Hello, and welcome to another update video about oil. We start with Brent crude oil, and it's moving further towards the resistance area that we specified already a week ago or so, or a couple of weeks ago. When we hit the low here, we did highlight that it's basically now due let's say a pullback or corrective rally, I should rather say, into the resistance area. The resistance area has not changed. And we've now basically reached it, right? And this is an ideal target area for wave 4. Now, we need to understand that at the moment, my preferred scenario is still one more low. It would be, it would fit. I don't know what's going on. Not enough coffee, maybe. Today, caffeine running low in the evening. So anyway, one more low would still be my preferred scenario. We've already reached the larger support area here for the wave 2 correction that I'm primarily following. Below $76, I have to watch for something more bearish. Yeah, then the bearish alternative would come into play. That could take us to new lows below the May lows, okay? But at the moment, the idea would be in an ideal scenario to rally a little further, maybe a little more into the resistance area, which ranges between $82.95 and $85.40, with $84.16 being in the middle. Yeah, it's because it's a diagonal pattern. I would allow it to get to the 61.8 retracement if it needs to. Normally, wave 4 wouldn't normally go above the 50% FIB level. That's at $84.16, but the 61.8 retracement has to be considered if we're dealing with a diagonal, which this C wave seems to be. So that's at $85.38, but it doesn't need to go that high, right? That's not what I'm suggesting. I'm just highlighting, first of all, we haven't got any indication that the top is in place yet, so it can still go a little higher. And ideally, we should see a reaction at 82.95 or 84.16. And then one more low would be ideal, possibly targeting $76, which is the 78.6 retracement. Looking at the subdivisions, we have, as you can see here, 3 waves up so far. Yeah, and this could be an A wave of this wave 4. Then the pullback might have been the B wave, and we're now moving up in wave C. That allows us to calculate also a target. I mean, this is a resistance range. It's not necessarily a target. We can get the targets by projecting the C wave based on the length of the A wave, and target is typically the 1-to-1 ratio. That would be ideal at $83.40. So that is basically in the resistance area. That's ideal. An extended target would be the 1.618 extension level at $85.26. That's at 85, very close to the 85.40 level, the 61.8 retracement. So both of these targets or Fibonacci projections are in the retracement zone as well. So that actually fits in quite well. So yeah, and that is my primary scenario. If we get a break above $85.40, then I would have to assume that wave 2 is already in. Don't forget, we're tracking here an overall bullish scenario. The move up was a 5-wave move. The test of that scenario is now happening in the yellow box. It can turn around anywhere in there, but looking at the microstructures, another low would be preferred. Looking at WTI, the structure is basically the same. We also here have a resistance area. Same scenario. Bullish support is here at $69.40. Ideally, we don't go below that, or we will break below the May lows with a high likelihood. The resistance area for wave 4 is between $78.99, we've nearly reached that, and $81.60 with $80.30 in the middle. Also here, you can see that we can identify a subwave structure of this wave 4, similar to Brent crude, A wave, B wave, C wave in wave 4. And then we can also calculate the Fibonacci projections based on that. So we take the length of the A wave, then we go to the low of the B wave, and the 1-to-1 ratio is here an ideal target projection. That's the 100% extension at $79.10. and the extended one is the 1.618 extension at $80.94. Again, they're also both pointing into the resistance area. And yeah, only above $81.60, I would have to assume that a lasting low has already been established. It's a possibility, but it only will become primary scenario above $81.60. That's at the moment my view about oil. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you're interested in daily updates about the S&P 500 and regular updates about stocks, check out our S&P 500 and stocks service. Link is in the video description, and have a great day. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.